Good afternoon to one and all, and welcome back for the second session of this day three of induction program on research paper writing and IP rights, sponsored by AICT New Delhi and organized by A.G. Patil Polytechnic Institute, Solapur, in collaboration with IST New Delhi. On behalf of A.G. Patil Polytechnic Institute, I, Mr. S.K. Mohite, Head of Mechanical Engineering Department, would like to welcome today's guest and key speaker, Dr. S.S. Wangekar, sir, coordinator of this induction program, and our principal, Dr. M.S. Ogre, sir, Vice Principal Sri J.M. Jakadia, sir, my colleague faculty members, and dear participants. The topic of this session is thesis research writing, and this session will also be conducted by Dr. S.S. Wangekar, sir. Today's first session conducted by him was really very good in all aspects, and now he is going to guide us regarding thesis research writing. So, without taking much more time, I request Dr. Wangekar, sir, to initiate the session. Over to you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Just wait. Present now. Okay, let me please know, sir. Clearly audible, visible, and screen is visible. Full screen
Yes,
mode.
sir. Yes, everything okay, sir.
Okay. So I will start.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, friends. First session is already over related to research methodology, and now I will be discussing about the thesis writing. And the thesis writing mainly concerned to means I have taken all the bits related to PhD, and if we want that MTech thesis or dissertation, whatever the name, again it can be correlated. So once again, I am thankful to A.G. Patil Polytechnic Institute, Solapur, for inviting me as a speaker for this session, and congratulate them for organizing workshop or induction program on such a fantastic topic, research paper writing and IP rights. Okay, so let us start. What is this very first? Enjoy climbing the mountain. Actually, I want to start with this. This climbing the mountain, not an easy task. Again, very few cases are there who will dare to go for this climbing the mountain. So if one had decided, then he or she should enjoy. So let us start with enjoy climbing the mountain, because this thesis writing, the PhD, the complete maybe 3 years or 4 years tenure, as per the case is full time, part time, maybe. So the complete stage of PhD and writing the thesis, submission of the thesis, presentation, and award of degree. So these all features. So I have mentioned in one line. I want to say that enjoy climbing the mountain. Though there are many pains, there are hurdles, obstacles, problems in the way, not in similar nature. Everyone has different problems as per as the different research topics, what you have decided based on what are your objectives, whether you will be able to complete all the adjectives and blah, 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 whatever, etc. So just one line, enjoy climbing the mountain. So I will be focusing more on requirements and timeline, then contents of this thesis, then style and form, then what to aim for, then tips and pitfalls, and final product for submission. This is the not traditional way. We will go by considering all the aspects from starting up to the expectation of the examiner, referee, reviewer, what you want to say as far as a final defense PhD is concerned. So let us start. PhD thesis. Actually, the thesis word generally used for PhD. Therefore, I am saying it's PhD thesis. So very few nowadays, the count is increasing, are the aspirants for PhD. And though you are aspirants, again, some of them are eligible for or getting the admission in reputed organizations for PhD. or anywhere else, and they will start their journey. And the journey ends means from PhD point of view. Research journey have no full stop. If there is, you want to take some pause, let it be semicolon, let it be colon, whatever, comma, semicolon, whatever may be there, but there should not be a full stop until and unless you are alive. Okay, so this is not about research, this is about PhD. So thesis is the last stage of that PhD, and submission of thesis followed by this comments from the referee, and then presentation, modification in the thesis, presentation, and submitting final copy, and award of the degree. So I will correlate some of the examples with my experience from NIT Silchar. So let us start. PhD thesis, high quality presentation that reflects the hard work and new knowledge and expertise acquired during PhD. So your presentation should be a high quality presentation, and whatever work, if you have done a huge amount of work, then you should be in a position to present at least what you have done. Very important. What is a PhD? Again, no one can breeze me this in a very small, say 3-4 lines, but still some insight I want to give. Therefore, in-depth study and critical examination of specific topic. I have given many examples in the last lecture. Let us take any one topic. So, in-depth study and critical examination related to that specific topic. So we have discussed the example related to wind turbine. We have discussed about simple lathe machine problem. We have discussed about my area of work, that micro channel. A lot of examples we have discussed in the last session. Okay, the original and creative piece of research developed autonomously. Autonomously is very important word. Original and creative piece of research. So, what are the contributions in that particular field or domain in which you are working? This is your literature review. Now, how you will contribute to the field, to the domain, it will be your contribution. So it will be original and creative piece of research work, and you should be in a position to highlight that this is my contribution to the microfluidics field. This is my, for example, wind turbine. This is my contribution for a development of new model of wind turbine, and definitely it will have a some share. Let it be 0.1, 0.2, whatever, as per as the renewable energy domain and the wind turbines is concerned. Okay, so this should be there. Provide new knowledge and useful discoveries. Your PhD should have some insight, some novelty should be there, because ultimately the question will be there: what are major outcomes, major findings? What is contribution to the society, contribution to the field, contribution to the industry, whatever your contribution may be there, and then what is new knowledge develop out of it? Very, very important. And work of publishable quality in scientific journal or international meeting, that is conferences. So here you can go for PhD in any of the university, in any NIT, in any IIT. So IIT is NIT is good, no problem. But if you are pursuing from university or you have completed from any university, then also, what is my personal opinion, irrespective of what is demand of the university, that one paper in reputed or peer reviewed or UGC care journal, whatever it may be, and one paper in conference, very less, a lower requirement. If your university demanding this much, no, then you have to go for publishable quality. Means you should go for 2 SCI or Scopus, then 2 conferences, that also international conference, and whose proceedings will be published or have published in Scopus Index series, and 1 or 2 book chapters in the reputed journals, and all these should be non-paid type. Conference, there may be some charges that is different, but still. And if you will, any possible, if you can file a patent related to you, what work you have gone for, again it is very, very excellent. So that NIT is asking 2 SCI, 2 conferences, therefore I am doing, no. What, irrespective of university, irrespective of your institute, let it be autonomous, whatever, Your target should be whatever, because ultimately, rather than your thesis, these published papers will speak more about you and your work and what you about your PhD. Therefore, if you can say from my PhD work, 4 ACI papers, 2 Scopus, 3 conferences, 2 book chapters, total count 11. Great. That should be the there. So thesis should reflect all these factors. So this is the, we can say, what is a PhD. It is a very important exercise of patience and frustration, not afraid to start again. Very, very important. I can correlate with many examples. One example I have given, bulb also. So, for example, if you are doing any machining, if you are doing any experimentation, let it be in chemistry lab, let it be in any physics related experiment, and let it be any means vibration related, any dynamics, any machining, mechanical, whatever may be the case. So, or if you are going for simulations, so exercise of patience and frustration. Definitely there will be frustration, loss of patience, and one stage will that I will quit. Why I am doing PhD? The others are he has done and his paper published in so good journal. I know what he had done. Till his paper is published. See, PhD every student is a different entity, and the supervisor you can guide, co-guide, mentor, whatever the terminology is different. Therefore, one has to concentrate on his or her own. That's it. There is no comparison as you are doing for BTech, what your project work, my and one project work among the four, and what mark the guide has given to you and me. Leave it. So it is 100% different. So there will be definitely loss of patience. There will be frustration as per as because actually what happens. So I will try to let us see how I am visible. So if you take on x-axis the time, and if you take on y-axis the enthusiasm and the energy, then in the initial period it is going like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, and again it will come like this, a horizontal second year, and then third year the enthusiasm going down, down, down. It is cycle. Again, if you take the patience, then frustration in the initial, you can take it is very, very low. As the time passes, it is going ahead. So these are different groups. Again, there are different psychological and physiological aspects as far as this patience and frustration is concerned. And different studies you will also see. You just Google it, then you will get a lot of data related to this frustration and related to PhD. So not, I want to say just one sentence: not afraid to start it again. No problem. Wherever you are, after 1 year, you feel that whatever experimentation I have done, okay. After 3 years, if you will feel that whatever experimentation done by me is not giving me accurate results, just come few steps back. Analyze what are the steps, what you have to change, what went wrong, and what are the corrective steps required so that you will get the further correct results and start once again, because this is the one of the crucial stage of PhD. Definitely starting again and again. Very few cases are there they have started but no starting again and they have completed. Very, very less. So this may the patience and frustration part of PhD. Learn and develop skills to navigate the unknown and be your own judge. Many things you will come across the unknown things, and it is not also required that you should be master of all. No. So whatever is in your related, you are studying to grasp, to focus on it, and whatever the unknown is there, you should be have skill to navigate. And again, your own judgment should be good. And you will get in during this PhD as per these international conferences and different things are concerned, national and international conferences, summits, etc. You will get opportunity to make friends and new colleagues, building a network as per your area is concerned, and not only in India, from abroad also, from different states. There is a good opportunity to make friends. Actually, conference the purpose is this only. PhD thesis. So let us start. We will see before starting what are the good characteristics, and we will proceed slowly in this way. So before starting, there are different points that one should consider. So find your bearings, revise relevant information from college website on the thesis and viva. So what are the points required? Revise the relevant information from college website. Find your bearings. Bearings means what you have related to your thesis, what work you have done. Let it be from your objectives, methodology, and then you have gone for the simulation, computational analysis, experimental analysis, then some of the optimization techniques, and at the end you have concluded. Or anyone might have gone for some other techniques also. So what you have. Number two, revise relevant information from college website on thesis and viva. So every institute, university has its own format for writing the thesis. So one has to refer, like that I have referred NIT Silchar, that website, and there is a pro forma, everything given. So why it is important? If the website has uploaded something and you are referring your friends who passed away before 6 months or 1 year, there is chance that if the some formatting is changed, let it be not on first page only, some inside formatting and font and sizes, something is modified, then again you have to go for rework. Therefore, it is better before starting, just have a look to the college website for thesis and what are the protocols for viva and what are the things that are required to be completed from student side or research scholar side. Reflect on what makes a good thesis, expected content and form. For good thesis, what is required? What we can call it as a good thesis, what we can call it as a best thesis. What are the expected content as per as what you have studied, your domain is concerned, and what are the form of it. Read the examples of thesis. So from your department, if you are having department library, then in department your institute library, for example, I want to submit now, then from last 3 months I will go and I will, for 2 cases are there in my department, I will see that what is the thesis and what is required, and again if possible I will refer 2-3 theses from other departments also, because they will also give good insight as far as this thesis is concerned. Then read the recent literature. So in this case, for example, let us take example that I have started PhD in 2013 and I have submitted my thesis in 2018. So when I have started in 2014 or 15, I have gone for an exhaustive, extensive literature, but I am submitting in 2018. So it should not be the case that you will put all the references in 2015 only. So recent literature. So you should go for, and some more insights can be possible when you are submitting the thesis. So in the first year, many of the student, if assuming by third year, 3 years. So in the first year, many of the research scholar will go for collection of the data and literature review and findings, or we can say research gaps or inferences done from the literature, and then problem statement, objectives, and methodology. But after 2 years, again there is a good amount of literature that was available. One should consider this. So these are the few things before starting the thesis. Now getting started. Everything is ready and now one is ready for writing the thesis of PhD. Then make a plan, content and timeline. We will discuss again what is the content. So what is the content decided, what is in your mind, what are different chapters we have decided, and what is the timeline that you will put for that chapters. Because in many of the cases, pre-synopsis or synopsis stage is there, like NITs, IITs, before submission, and after that you will get 90 days or 3 months for submission of the thesis. So many of the supervisors or guides are preferring that 50 to 70% thesis will be ready before synopsis only. But if the synopsis is over and the thesis is not ready, then within that 90-day span, the student should submit the thesis. So these may be, or if you want to complete thesis before your synopsis also, your work is over, or I can say, I can correct the word that guide said that, or mutual understanding of student and supervisor that this work is sufficient for award of degree. Supervisor is agree for submission. Then in this case, one has to go for what content he should put and what is the timeline for that. So it is covers in a make a plan, update, thesis content, feedback from supervisor. For example, if today I am starting the writing and my plan is for 60 days, 2 months, update the thesis content. So it is not the case that I will show all the thesis contents to my supervisor after 2 months. No. For example, I have decided that I will start chapter number 1 first. Then literature I will do simultaneously, and chapter number 3 I will start. Then whatever chapter number 1 is over, maybe after 7-8 days, I should give it to my supervisor and ask what is the feedback, what are the different modifications still required in this thesis, which can be incorporated, and during that time of 60 days, the same chapter can be given for checking to the supervisor 2 to 3 times, so that at the end of day 60, after 2 months, only your one chapter will be pending, or it review will be in progress from the supervisor, and all remaining chapters will might have completed because you have started the thesis content updating or checking or review from your supervisor from the day one. Then make a writing plan, list of chapters and main sections. So how you will write? For example, I will explain my style chapter number 1. Then chapter number 2, the most lengthy and literature review, how many reference we will put, and then formatting of the references, etc., etc. It will take maximum time. And what I feel that's methodology chapter. Then if I am having some simulation, then simulation or design development related chapter. Then chapter number 5 experimentation, chapter number 6 result and discussion, chapter number 7 conclusion, and then references, no chapter number. So if this is the plan, then make a writing plan, list of chapters. This is my chapter number 1. I will start this first, then I will go for chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, and by that time literature review I will complete. Because if you give more time on literature review, and literature review will means after some comments from supervisor, you have to modify it 2 to 3 times. Therefore, in my view, I have considered literature review as the parallel activity. And another thing is that as literature review, the students are starting from the year 2. Therefore, in this case, much of the data is available with the student also in the required format. Then scheduling, supervisor feedback and proofreading. Scheduling means what? Again, it is a plan. This chapter number 1, 8 days I will complete, and 9th day it will be with supervisor. Chapter number 3, further 5 days. After on the day 15, it will be with supervisor. Chapter number 4, on day 21, it will be completed and it will be with supervisor. Like this. Make the checklist and timeline. Only making and writing the plan is not sufficient. After that, you have made the plan, you have written the chapters. If anything is missing, for example, it is expected that you will complete your chapter number 1 within 7 days. But after 9th day, you have submitted. So 2 days, some problem is there. And assume that you have already submitted a synopsis and there are only 60 days available with you or 90 days available with you. Then in this case, you have to go for revision checklist, what is required, and then budget sufficient time. So time management is very, very important in this case. Then further requirements we will discuss. The thesis shall. Very, very important, because as the PhD will be on the account or his or her name. Therefore, the candidate's own account for his work mostly accomplished after the PhD registration. Very important. Then sole or collaborative work, declaration of own sole or shared work. If any work is shared with one of his friend from his department, from other department, from any other government organization, then it should be declared that this is the sole content and this content is shared with this government agency and this is the undertaking, and this should be declaration for the thesis. Then not submitted for similar degree elsewhere. This is very important. We might have heard this word after in copyright, that this paper is not submitted or nowhere in consideration for any other journal. So it is very important. What work you are doing, it should be your own work and you are not submitted for any other degrees elsewhere. Not be a series of papers. Now this is very important. Published work can be uploaded, but should not be a series of papers. Means, for example, I have published 4 papers, and then I will say my chapter number 3 will be my paper number 1, my second paper chapter number 4, my third paper chapter number 5. It in some of the departments I personally have seen in NIT this type of cases also, but uh, as far as your papers are concerned, you can take the published work from the paper, but the thesis should be well organized. It should not be that different papers are taken and your thesis is like a series of papers. No, whatever the structure and whatever the requirements are there, that should be fulfilled. And definitely, it is your work. You have published it, therefore, it is your right, and you can include that work fully up to certain extent. It is your choice. Acknowledge the work of others or self-published work. So requirement. If I am taking any of the work from any author's paper, then there may be copyright or other issues. I should take, for example, I am taking just a text or what are the standard definitions, then I can give references. If I am publishing the thesis online, and if I am using or if I am publishing a paper in one of the reputed journal, and in that journal I am copying one of the figure from any other's work, then permission is required from that journal and also from that author. There are procedures that one has to go for. Then and then only the same figure which has already been published by any other person, that can be incorporated in our paper also with proper permission. Declaration for third party or own published work papers, that I have already discussed. Actually, this is not the mandatory, but just a guideline less than 1 lakh words. So if you refer a standard paper 3,500 to 5,000, 6,000 words, it will go up to 10 pages. So 100 pages, it can be possible with excluding bibliography, etc. 1 lakh. So 1 lakh words, it can go up to 150 pages also. So pages is not the important. Actually, the content and how you have represented it, let it be somewhat short, but it should be short but sweet. It should not be too much lengthy, because if you will go for 450 pages thesis, and if you assume that you are referee and you are reading the thesis of 450 pages and 15 days given to you, and you have to give comments on that 450 pages within 15 days or 1 month, and you are also having busy schedule, because as you are when you will become referee, you are having that much responsibility, and you have acquired the status to become referee. Therefore, this NIT and IIT thesis is coming to you for reviewing purpose. Then, friends, you tell me in this case, the 150 pages report with appropriate figures and everything nicely mentioned is much more sufficient than 425 pages, because reading 425 pages and further going for comment, again, it is very different thing. Thesis must be submitted in adequate electronic format. Some of the institutions are asking Word, some of the institutions only LaTeX. The choice of this particular institute, and in accordance with the instruction obtainable from the academic registrar. So whatever standard guidelines are given, that the thesis should be submitted in this. These are the proformas which are to be included in the thesis. These are the proformas which should carry along with the thesis while submission. So whatever this requirement as from this department, maybe R research RC or maybe R&D or maybe academic registrar, depending upon university or autonomous institutions, NITs, IITs, one has to go for this. These are the primary requirements that I am discussing related to thesis. Okay, what is a good thesis? What I will call it as a good thesis. So it should be one's original work. The work is your own work. The work is original work. My own words, my ideas, my judgment. So it many times it happens that let the idea be mine, but if I am writing and if I am not getting the proper words, then I am taking the help of internet and by using some sites. So let me Wikipedia, or let it be the other papers, whatever. So I am taking some of the, or I am copying some of the things from it. The idea is 100% mine, but I am not in a position to shape out the idea in a good presentable form. So I have to take the help of this type of some other things. So what happened? careful of plagiarism. Let it be text, let it be ideas, let it be quote. We have to give proper referencing when you are taking any reference. And taking reference means what? Or plagiarism means what? I will give you one of the example here for avoiding the plagiarism. For example, in one of the paper, it is mentioned that the paper focuses on design and development of serpentine microchannel for effective mixing of multifluids. The three different configurations with rectangular, square, and circular obstacles has been considered in the analysis, and the effect of Reynolds number and we can say Nusselt number is considered like this. These are the statements from the abstract. Now you should not copy as it is. You have to put this text in the literature. Let it be you are mentioning this in the literature by giving reference also, but it is not the case that you will put as it is from the abstract, from the paper, and you will give reference. No, again it is plagiarism. So you can say that different researchers have worked, or for example, Wangikar ETL perform experimentation on serpentine microchannel with different obstacle shapes or with different obstacle by varying sizes as let it be that rectangular, square, circular, and also by having different parameters as whatever Nusselt number, Reynolds number, etc. and reported the performance of the microchannel. See, I have given the two different sentences. First, I have given you the idea what it will be or what is written in the abstract. And second, I have tried to convert in the other language and I am giving now the reference. So this is very, very important. Okay. Then I will proceed further. Good thesis. So what is a good thesis? So everywhere it is new written. So new work, new data. What means that new work? So there will be new data, new methods, new interpretation, new application, new questions, new way of testing knowledge, new connections. So new data means whatever the experimentation, whatever the simulations you are performing, based on it, you will have some new data as an outcome of your research. So you can call it as new data. New methods. It may be the case that the traditional way of mentioning it is somewhat different and you have started a very different method and the different method may be analogous to some of the previous method, but you have added some more insight that this method can be done by adding one of the attachment or by having some additional features in that method. New interpretation. The method is older one, but whatever the data is there and whatever you will get that from data, some new insights, some new interpretation may be there. New application, whatever the product or whatever thing you are developing, it has not been used here before for any application, and as an outcome of your thesis, you are using for a particular application. New questions, new way of testing the knowledge, and new connections. So there may be different new cases. I will put in one word. Your thesis, your work should be a novel. So in research, when you are submitting your research to many of the journals, one standard comment you will get, the research work lacks in novelty. Or if your paper accepted with major or minor corrections, then again you will get a comment. The author should highlight the novelty of the work. Maybe in the at the end of the introduction session, whatever depends upon the journal and the paper. But this all new comes under one word, that is nothing but the novelty. Then let us proceed further. Good discussion of strength and limitations, methods and results. So we are discussing about what I can call it as a good thesis. So good discussion of strength and limitations. So what are the strengths and what are the limitations? Limitations means I should highlight the future scope, what I have considered, what are my conclusions, what are my results, and what is the scope for future work. That are nothing but the limitations, highlighting the limitations. And methods, what methods I have used? whether that methods are replicable, if whatever the parameters I am suggesting, if any other want to perform the same experimentation by using the same parameters, then whether the results are replicable, whether that person will also get the same results as you have got, or whatever my results are there. This is the reproducibility of the results. So methods and results. Then sharp summary of results and importance of thesis contribution. So sharp summary of results, nothing but I can call it as a conclusion and importance of thesis contribution. I have given you the example of wind turbine. I have given you the example of this micro channel. So what is the contribution of that development of a vertical axis wind turbine? So it is nothing but the thesis contribution. That this is my contribution, I can highlight that this is the contribution of the thesis. And it is very important part of your thesis. Anyone will read first abstract, then what are methodology and objectives, and then your conclusion, future scope, and if there is a page, contribution to the field or thesis contribution, and then list of publications. These are the 6 pages that anyone will refer, because if the thesis is of 200 pages and if I want to know the within 2 to 3 minutes, I will take just see glimpses what is there, and within 5 minutes I will come to know. And this is very important. Again, definitely when the it will go to referee, the referee will go line by line, word by word, and you will get the comments. But still, as an appreciation of what comes next, you should be in a position. For example, I am going with one of the slide. If you are going with one of the slide, then what is next? What is next? So this should be in your thesis. Appreciation of implication of result in wider context. This is also one of the important aspect. Focuses on interesting and important information. Attention to details, well illustrated with figures and graphs. It is not the case that 150 pages only theory, and you have written many things, and only 3 to 4 graphs and 3 to 4 diagrams. No. There should be tables, there should be graphs, there should be figures for experimentation. And apart from this, if you want to give some additional insight by some mathematical expression or by some optimization or by having some other types of graphs, again, the thesis will be having more and more weightage. Acknowledge permission if needed. If you are taking any data from any of the source, then acknowledge the permission, or at least go for acknowledgement. And if you are reading the as is it data, then take permission. Written without grammatical and spelling errors. In many of the cases, let it be thesis or let it be your paper, you will get the author should check the thesis or paper for grammatical and typo or typographical error. So actually, based on this, I want to highlight one of the suggestion from my guide, that my guide always used to suggest me either go by choose any one type of English, because we are not having this practice or we are not using this practice in our day-to-day life. Either use COLOUR color or COLOR color. Both are correct. American and British or Britain, whatever. So again, I have to go for at that time that what are the different things in my thesis, and whether I should go for American or whether I should go for that British, and again which type of English I should prefer, so that the spelling like color, it will have two different behavior, VIOR, VIOUR, like this. So both are correct, no problem. But you have to adopt any one system and then you have to process. If your referee will go up to that level, then again you have to read your thesis one by one. So these are some of the additional inputs given by my guide to me. Therefore, I am in a position to share with you. Examiner's expectation. So here, some broader ideas are given that what the examiner want to see. I have already given example that if your thesis is 450, let us assume that 300 pages, 250 pages. Again, what are the expectations of examiner? So in short, a coherent, readable and well presented, credible story. So started with something and have a very good impression, and at the end, very good closure. So a credible story, it should like be a story one. Then interesting piece that can learn from, leading to interesting scientific discussion with an expert in the field. It should have the feel like this scientific discussion with an expert in the field. Then always look for what that examiner will look for. So the examiner want always adequate knowledge of the field, know the literature in depth and breadth, comprehensive, relevant, and up-to-date literature, well-reasoned and well-designed studies. So, design studies. For example, if I am considering 4 parameters as input parameters with 4 levels, then with full factorial, I have to go for 64 experimentation. Why I am going for 64? Again, I have to justify. If I am not going for 64 and by using Taguchi, I am going for L16 array. Again, I have to justify because both things are correct, but well reasoned and well designed studies. And again, basically, why 4 parameters are chosen and why 4 levels are chosen? Well reasoned, very, very important throughout the thesis. Clear and logical presentation of key results. Judicious choice of figures and tablets. Now here redundant data you will get. So one of the few cases are there that in one of the table you can go for all the readings, no problem. But you are going for the readings in table followed by one graph below, and the interpretation of the graph and interpretation from the table, it is approximately same. Then what is the use of table and graph? It is going for redundant data. So if you want to put such results, then whatever 10, 15 tables are there, try to combine in one of the table and then you can proceed. Because there should not be a redundancy in the data. Then clear and logical presentation of key results, effective arguments and conclusions. So whatever you are saying, that should be effective, and whatever your conclusions are there, it should also be effective. Well written, accurate, unambiguous, attention to details, minimize typos. So your thesis should be well written. There should not be any ambiguity at all, and whatever details are there, very, very clearly mention all the details. These are all are the expectation from the referee or examiner, so that your thesis will be a good one. And as your thesis, excellent thesis, nice thesis, I can say here that very nice or good Viva will be there. Very less problem will be there as far as the Viva is concerned. Convincing, honest, coherent. Okay, coherent, strong rational and storyline. So it should be a storytelling like, and convincing, honest, contributions of others, implication and limit. So your thesis, you are not in front of that examiner. Your thesis, so your thesis should be convinced that if this increases, this decreases. What are the contribution of others? What you have taken? Whether you have mentioned all of them. What are the implications? What are the limits? This should all be highlighted in your thesis. External examiner's checklist. I am giving all these insights because this is also very important. Why, so what, and do I believe it? Okay. Research aims clear. External examination checklist. What the researcher want to do, whether the aim is clear or not. Whether the literature is reviewed critically, exhaustive literature survey, how many references, how many from related domain, how many from other domain, etc., etc. Whether the key papers are included. For example, if I am doing research related to, I can say microfluidics, then what are the different domains as per as the microfluidics are concerned? It will be related to fabrication, computational analysis, experimental analysis, combination of this, and again the in this particular mixing analysis, again different aspects are there. The effect of, I can say in one line, the mixing performance analysis. So whatever the key papers as per as these areas are concerned, whether all they are included, whether the theoretical basis is sound for that thesis, then the conjecture consistent with theory. Then methodology, we have discussed a lot as far as this methodology is concerned. So whether the methodology is appropriate, whether the evidence collected ethically. So very, very important. What are the different evidences you are presenting, whether they are collected ethically. For example, if I am going for any scanning electron microscopic images, then I should use the facility for maybe in COE Pune, maybe ELCA lab in the Bosri MIDC, or maybe one of the two industries from Mumbai. Then ethically, I should be in a position that the with proper logos and on letterheads, all this data analysis is there. Sufficient evidence are provided or not to support whatever the things are predicted in the thesis. Convince of reliability and validity, whether the things predicted in the thesis are reliable, whether they are valid, whether they have tested for validity. Let it be, if the computational analysis is there, then the validation with any other researcher, his work, and the data validation, or validation between the experimental and computational. So these are many approaches of validation. Findings assessed against literature. So what are the literatures there? Then what are the inferences drawn or gaps I can say? And then what is the contribution of the thesis, and whether it is assessed against literature, that it is said that this is not in the literature and now he is saying that this is my work. So just one correlation between this. Findings make significant contribution to the field. How? Though the author has mentioned that this is my contribution to the field, to the mechanical field, to the industry as far as society is concerned, and these are my different contributions, how they are contributing to the society. If I have developed any machine which is directly useful for farmers, and again I have gone somewhat ahead and I have commercialized it, already patented and commercialized, then I can say that it is directly societal contribution as an effect of technology for society, and it is significant contribution to the field. Any inconsistencies are there, maybe in any of the thesis. Then conclusion, take home message. What is the conclusion? What is the take home message after reading the complete thesis? What is the examiner feel? That is nothing but take home message. What he should take out of it. Convince that the work was carried out by the student. Very, very important. He should be able, he should convince that the work should be carried out by the student. So let it be somewhat pros and cons, plus minus, whatever you want to put. It is also the last line that the work is required to be, should be, must be done by research scholar or student only. And the examiner is much more having knowledge. If you are taking help of any other agency, and if you are not putting, for example, any ANSYS or related something domain, then he or she will definitely come to know. And again, you will also come to know that what he has understood based on your research in your defense. So this is very important. Is the examiner an expert in your field? Very important. The examiner should be, or we cannot say should be. We should always bless to God that the examiner should be from our field only, because he will go in your field. If he is non-expert from your field, then you may feel that he is not expert. The person who is in your field, whatever the facts and whatever the limitations of your thesis, if you try to convince in your defense and whatever, you can defend at least. But if he is not in from your field, or though he from your field but not having that much insight as far as your work area is concerned, then again there are chances that it can be more objective and more critical defense vivas or examination will be there. So these are the some of the aspects as far as the external examination is concerned. Examiners don't like, we call it as bad thesis, too much material, badly summarized or organized. 350 pages, no correlation between chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, in between, no proper numberings, what we are reading, what is written, and finally, he will come at one line that why I am reading this. So this gives a bad thesis feeling. Then need to guess. He need to guess what you have done. What was your hypothesis? What maybe you were in your mind. So if this is the case, that he should try to understand what is in your mind. This is the example of very bad thesis. उसको कभी भी लगना चाहिए कि इसके मन में क्या था और ये क्या लिखा है और इसके मन में क्या होगा, शायद ये ऐसा लिखना चाहता था क्या. नो, दिस इज द फेल्योर ऑफ योर थीसिस. Okay, so I will take just highlights. Already many of these things are covered. Okay, this already covered. These to make a plan. Okay, let us start. Now, this I have discussed about what is thesis, then what are the prerequisites before starting, what is required, and what are the expectations or requirements of examiner, and how you should go for or how you should tackle it. Just 1 minute, friends. Okay, so research and thesis, abstract. So these are the main components of any thesis: abstract, introduction, literature review, methodology, results, and discussion. In between, again, you can put after the methodology 2, 3 your chapters based on your judgment. So we will discuss one by one. In short, I will say abstract. It is one page, but it will highlight what is your thesis, or it is just one page which is telling that what is there in that 150 or 200 pages. Then introduction covers somewhat relevance, then what is currently going on in the area, then what is the scope, etc., etc. Then review of literature, exhaustive extensive review of literature. The literature, according to me, it should be divided in some parts. It should not be the case that 150 references are there starting from page number 1 up to page number 12, all references with paragraph. No, bad thesis. So you should be in a position to make some cluster, make some dividation, and then proceeding further. Then let us take okay, we will proceed further. At the lack of time, it is not possible to give much more examples as far as these all aspects are concerned. Methodology. I have already explained this methodology in the last session, and we have discussed a detail. Methodology is the plan, work plan, research plan, how your research will be progress, or how it will go from step number 1 in order to achieve your objectives within a, we can say, you make standardized within what is your plan, and through that plan you will achieve your goal up to end. Last stage is thesis writing. This is covers in methodology. Then results, discussion, and conclusion. So in many of the cases, you can go for result and discussion, and after methodology, you can go for 2 to 3 domain type chapters based on. It may be computational, it may be design and development, it may be some analysis type or some experimentation like this. And then result. Result is what you observed, and in result you can give some graphs, plots, figures that with increase in concentration, temperature, and time, the material removal rate increases for brass material in photochemical machining by using ferric chloride as agent. In discussion part, why? What is happening so that when concentration increases, the material removal rate increasing? What exactly happens? Because this is a PhD level, not degree or MTech level. So what exactly happens if any for lathe machine we will take example that if the speed increases, surface finish increases, what exactly happens? So let it may be chip morphology study. You should support it with chip morphology. You should support it with tool wear rate, and we can say scanning electron microscopic images of the workpiece, the chip, and the tool. Again, by identifying all these in the discussion part, you can support that what exactly happens with increase or decrease in one of the parameter, other parameter may be increases or decreases. For example, temperature, if temperature increases, material removal rate increases. In case of photochemical machining, what exactly happens? This should be in the discussion part, and summary of all your work. It should be conclusion and scope for future works. Okay. So a typical thesis content. There will be a title page, standardized format of the university, declarations, originality, copyright, thesis declaration form. Then table of content. It is what you have written with page numbers, etc. Then list of figures are there, list of tables and acronyms, etc., etc. So first 4-5 pages, okay, no problem. Abstract. Then introduction, then literature review, then aims, objectives, and methods. In some of the cases, this in the methodology chapter, it is mentioned that objectives and methodology. In we can say our region, our area, means whatever I am giving you the example as separate chapter after literature review. After literature, one will go for finding the gaps, that is inference drawn or research gaps. Then statement of problem, followed by objectives in order to achieve the statement of problem, and then methodology. But in many of the cases in our university, or I have seen that in chapter number 1 only they are telling objectives. Okay, if it is the problem with problem, means if it is the requirement of university or whatever standard protocols, no problem, but I will give you the logical sequence. Okay, then after methodology, 2 to 4 substantial result chapters include discussion. 2 to 4, that example I have given. Let it be one design and development, or development, then one of the fabrication or experimentation, and then analysis part. So it all will come in that 2 to 4 chapters. Or if anybody want to go for optimization as a separate chapter, in my case I have gone for flow physics study in that micro channel as a separate chapter. Anyone want to go for any artificial neural network or regression analysis for predicting the different equations for material removal rate or any other factor, and comparison of the predicted data and actual data, it may be one of the chapters. So it depends the choice of this particular author, and again requirement of the supervisor as per as this chapter dividation and your work is concerned. Then general discussion and conclusion. Specific content. Abstract. Introduction, why you are doing this. So here literature review is also concerned. So in introduction, generally the relevance, very first, what is the relevance? Then what is the current era trend? What is the scope for work? And organization of the thesis. And again, if you will go for literature review as a separate topic, then you will divide the literature review into 3 parts based on your topic. And in that 2-3 parts, you will highlight the work carried out by different researchers in that particular area. And again, literature review should be at the end. For every chapter, I will suggest there should be, you will write preface or forward or prelude or introduction for every chapter for 5 lines, what that chapter is. In Marathi, we will call it as Prastavna, or in general language, we will call it as preface. And at the end of the chapter, you should give a closure, that what is there in that particular chapter. It is not conclusion, I am saying closure, or you say summary of that chapter in 4-5 lines. So what happens? The first part, preface, it will connect with the last chapter, and the last part, it will connect first 3-4 lines related to that chapter. For example, I am writing for literature review chapter number 2. If I am writing the summary, then I will highlight what is this, and at the last line I will say that the further part will be objective and methodology, and then I will go to next chapter, that is nothing but methodology. So this will build a connection. So every chapter should have preface, every chapter should have means I am telling this additional contents, summary, then objectives, then methodology, what to do, how to do, results, what is find out, what did you find. Then you can go for 100-200 figures. There are many standard plots you will get from different machines, then different plot, different softwares, what you will go. If you are having 500 figures, is it required to go for 500 figures? Then how you will select that particular figures, that is also important. Then add texture, style according to the requirement, and specific content in discussion. What does it mean? Strength and limitation. Why it is happening? If the trend is increasing, why? Supporting with some microstructure, with some figures, with some simulation diagrams, whatever, etc. What is required. Then final chapter will be conclusion and suggestions for the further work, references and appendix as you wish. This is not the mandatory. Additional details, published papers, appendix can be, or if you are having result, for example, you are using any material like German silver and you have gone for chemical analysis of the German silver. You have mentioned the chemical composition in your paper, but if you want to give the details of that one, for example, let us take Elka lab or any other lab, Phoenix lab from Pune, and if you are having the report of that Phoenix lab indicating the percentage of these alloys in that particular German silver, you can go for it as appendix, no problem. Abstract. So abstract, now here paragraphs are mentioned. So first there should be a problem, 3-4 statement, whether there is a weightage for the problem, whether it is appropriate for PhD, whether whatever work you have performed, it is justifying the award of degree, like this. Then contribution. After this problem, what is the contribution? Again, there are some pros and cons. After the problem, one can go for the relevance, very first relevance, then problem, then objective, we won't have to mention, then methodology, then result, and then significance. Here it is mentioned second contribution, then methodology, result, and significance. So in one page, and this is, don't limit it for friends only thesis. If you want to write for a paper, again it is useful. Again, it is the choice of the student and finally of the supervisor. Whatever you write, it should, you have to get it confirmed from your supervisor, reviewed, and if he or she will say okay, then only you can proceed further. Introduction part. Chapter number 1, introduction. Starting, topic and content, what area I want to focus, what is the scope, what is the relevance, why research is required, what is the importance or significance of the research in that particular area. Then questions, aims, objectives, overview of the structure, like this. And at the end, in chapter number 1, there is one, you can say, about what all chapters are saying. For example, chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, chapter number 4, chapter number 5, 6, 7. So what is highlighted in all that chapters? That is a style we have to write in chapter number 1 at the end. Then chapter number 2, literature review. I have already given you idea. Start with a preface and then okay, literature review. So start with a preface, funnel approach. So don't start with only 10 or 15 papers. If you want to go for 150 papers and in relevant to your area, you should go for 300, 350, 500 papers. And then you can say that these are 100% related, these are 50, 60% related, and some papers are there which are only 20, 25% related. So you have to put in the funnel and you have to take what is required and you have to go for what are the gaps. So this is funnel approach, means you will start with broad open-ended question and you will close with research specific points. So this is nothing but your gaps. So for example, 150 papers and I will highlight that 5 to 6 gaps or 10 gaps out of that 150 papers. So literature review, again there should be some introduction. Then as I am suggesting, you should go your literature review, you should do your literature review in 3 to 4 different pointers or make it separate points. Let us take any one example. Let us take that wind turbine example. If you want to go for literature review related to wind turbine, then you can go for the generalized, very first, what is the significance of wind turbine and what is the wind turbine and what is the position of India and Maharashtra and what is the need, etc., etc., 2-3 pages. Then if you want to go for vertical and horizontal both, then you can go for horizontal axis wind turbine second section, vertical axis wind turbine third section, hybrid approach, vertical plus horizontal plus solar operated plus anything additional. So like this 3 to 4 and then I will go for adding the literature in this, and at the end I will conclude or I will summarize the literature data. So this is one example for simple understanding purpose I have taken in the case of wind turbines. Methodology, friends, I have already discussed this in our morning session. So what is methodology? And I have given you example also that what is in the methodology. So the overall approach and what is the type of research, what is the method of data collection, when, where, with whom the research will took place, what is the step to be performed now, what are the activities will go in parallel, what are the activities go in series, then what are the tools and materials required, what are the different lab equipments required, then what are the softwares you will use, and again with license copies, very important. Then what are the obstacles that you will face or you may face, what are the hurdles that you will feel that this state is not available. For example, atomic force microscopy I want to go for, and I am not having any source as far as this our area is concerned. So in Mumbai I may get one of the party, or I have to go for Mumbai. Just for example, there are chances that I will go to Pune also, but for example. So what are the facilities required? SEM, scanning electron microscopy. I have to go either Shivaji University or Pune University or a National Chemical Lab or some IIT Bombay or some of the industries. So I have to go, and based on the time limitation, and there is also queue. I have to wait for 1 month, 2 months for my specimen. So these are the some of the obstacles. Then justification to methods what we have used, and what is the aim of our methodology is that what you did means what you have did, as well as convincing the reader that this was the best approach to answering your research. This is very important. What your did is different, but what your did, your methodology should show that what you have did, this is the only best option. I am adding only. The reviewer reader should feel that excellent. So this comment should be there. This is the best approach and very nice approach followed by the student. And if you will get this comment, or if he will feel like this, your path will be very easy. Then results. The result section, experimental results, computational results, statistics, analysis may be there. There may be tables, there may be graphs, and interpretation. I have already given you the interpretation data example in the session. So one should write the result in the past tense, describing what we have done in the past. And whatever the conclusion is there in the abstract, etc., you can use for present tense. Again, there are different sections that few are suggesting you to go for passive voice, has been, have been. Some are using was, had, and some are using present. There are different choices. Again, it is the choice of your, we can say, examiner or your guide. So you can say that it has been observed that. See, it has been observed that with increase in the temperature, or you can say it is observed that with increase in the temperature, this increases. Like this, whatever. You can use past tense also. So this is results. Having decided what to include, next decided what order to use. Now you are having 500 experimentation data. Not required that you should go for 500. You can go for 100 also. So which 400 is to exclude and which 100 is to include? Where to use, how to use the data? What is the order, chronological order? And what is the most important? What should I focus? And what should I least focus, less important? What is important for addressing my objectives or research question, and what is less important? Though I am having the data nice, but what is less important as far as for predicting my output is concerned. These are the some of the things. Then you also need to consider how best to present your result. That is tables, figures. Again, there are different software, different apps available for these tables, figures, and graphs, etc. Text. So it should be there. Then one has to make sure that each table and figure has a number and title, proper citation. Then the figures are cited in the text. Table and figure list should be there. Discussion, very important part. This section has different purposes. Interpret and explain your results. What is your result and why it is like this? Answer your research question. I think as far as paper is concerned and as far as result PhD thesis is concerned, discussion is the most important part of the thesis. Justify your approach and critically evaluate your study, because anyone can say that with increase in concentration MRR increases. But why? And with the help of microstructure images, scanning electron microscopy images, AFM, or any other, how you can show that with increase in this, it is happening. Why it is happening? So the discussion part is very critical, very important. Moving to conclusion. A PhD conclusion should be achieve 6 objectives. Whatever the research question in the start, it should be answered. Whatever the aims and objectives, what is my main aim and what are my 4 objectives and whether or 5 objectives and sub objectives, whether all are addressed. What is whether I have explained significance of your findings, why they are important. What is the contribution of my thesis? What are the limitations of my thesis? And whether there is any scope for future work. Okay, so a lot of points are there, but still, as the limitation of time, okay, so typical questions or topics that one can take. When to submit the thesis based on the candidate and the supervisor. If your supervisor will say you can submit, then only you can submit. Then some tips, commitment for thesis. The better the thesis, easier the viva. This I have already discussed with you. Whether your thesis is good, the viva will be excellent. You should show your commitment. Then organization of thesis, how nicely organized, how nicely planned, what is right continuously, what is consistency, and less is more. The word is very important. It should not be the case that 350 pages. If your thesis is 125 pages, it is much more than sufficient if it is well organized, well written, and everything as per the requirement. Same more with less difficult and needs practice. This is very important. And less is more is not that much difficult, that much easy. Then do good enough. Try your level best. Realistic timeline you should go for. You have to double check your work. You have to edit the work of others. And PhD, you can call it as a marathon. Some miles are easier than others. So I can say thank you. Due to limitation of time, I will stop here. Because still, as the topic is like this, I can go for still much 1 or 2 hours. But due to time, I want to conclude here. Thank you. Thank you very much. I am thankful for giving me the opportunity to present the topic. Very interested topic that is thesis writing. I am again thankful to A.G. Patil Institute, Polytechnic Institute, Solapur. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, any question? If any question, you can ask in chat box also. Yes, Veena ma'am, you want to ask something to sir?
No, sir, no.
Okay. Good afternoon to all. On behalf of A.J. Patil Polytechnic Institute, I, Mr. S.K. Mohite, Head of Mechanical Engineering Department, would like to give vote of thanks. We have experienced a wonderful session by Dr. S.S. Mangekar, sir. It was a great pleasure to understand critical points regarding research methodology, tools and techniques, and thesis research writing. I'm sure that all participants have enjoyed today's session. On behalf of organizing committee of 1 week online AICT IST induction program conducted by Department of Mechanical Engineering, A.G. Patil Polytechnic Institute, Solapur, Maharashtra, I acknowledge the valuable contribution of today's expert person, Dr. S.S. Mangekar, sir. I would like to thank to all the participants who have attended today's session from the Google Meet. With the permission of all dignitaries, we would conclude this session. Next session would be at 3 p.m. on the topic of National Education Policy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Participants, we will joining at 3 p.m. for the new session that is on National Education Policy, which will be conducted by Dr. V.V. Poddar, sir.